Hello and welcome back to another Toffee Blues video, your source for all things Everton. I'm Louis and this is going to be a player ratings video following on from the League Cup second round 3-0 home victory over Doncaster Rovers. Start with the game as a whole, decent performance I thought. Started really well, best bits of play I think we've seen all season, having quality players on the pitch, good in possession, keeping the ball well and carving out a few chances and probably deserved to be ahead early doors. Same old, didn't take the chances. And then obviously Donny settled in, had a few chances of their own, good save by Pickford. And then I thought just before half time we really regained control again, and then second half it was a comfortable performance. Good to see the new signings getting minutes as well, which will obviously help them get up to speed and ready for the Premier League. And as I say, a good performance and getting some young lads on towards the end as well. Again, benefiting them massively. So a good night at Goodison really, and into the out, which is the most important thing. And we'll find out tonight who we've got. But we'll start with the ratings. So we'll start with Jordan Pickford, obviously coming off the back of Spurs, where obviously made a mistake for one of the goals, a rare mistake from him, but it was always going to happen. He was always going to be a little bit ropey after one pre-season game coming into the season. But I thought against Donny, obviously the save I mentioned before, big save at a big time, something we come to expect from England's number one, and a 7.5 from me because I thought his distribution was good. He commanded his box well, and as I say, a top save first half. And this is the thing. To be fair, I think Pickford's an example of it. Throughout pre-season, we've had that many knocks and injuries to players. If you think of important players, Mykolenko, Tarkowski, Pickford, Branthwaite, 4 players there the defence was built on last season. And Tarkowski and Mykolenko have had a game and a half. Pickford's had a game. Branthwaite hasn't featured. So it was always going to be a little bit difficult coming into the season, not to excuse, obviously, the manner of the performances. But as I say, the games like this against Doncaster are a good chance to ease your way into the season whilst maintaining that competitive edge, and that's something Pickford did, and he looked a lot better for it. And as I say, he'll be back to himself in no time, and a 7.5 from me. Seamus, nice to have him back as always. Always great seeing him lead out the lads to Z cars as well at Goodison. Don't know how many more times that's going to happen for Seamus, so it's always nice to savour that. But he was solid as ever, a good performance. Stuck up for Lindstrom as well in the first minute when their left back left a little on him, which was good to see. Good leadership as always, and as I say, nice to have him back. I think the right decision to probably take him off, maybe save him for the weekend, but solid performance, and that's a 6.5 from me for Seamus. Michael Keane, couple of hairy moments in the first half. The one that springs to mind is giving the free kick away on the edge of the box, but some good passing. Obviously, we know he's got that in him. I thought he was quite strong in the air as well, and a decent overall performance for Keane. It was a bit of a battle for him, in truth, but as I say, a good enough performance for someone who is often on the end of a lot of sticks. So a 6 out of 10 for Keane. Jake O'Brien I was really impressed with, as were many Blues who were sat by me in the Gladys. Obviously, you've got to take into account the opposition. There's no getting away from that. It was a League Two side. However, if you cast your mind back to last season when Keane and Godfrey played there, and they had a real tough game up against Doncaster away, O'Brien looked like a Premier League player playing against the League Two side last night. And as I say, he coasted his way through the game, good in the air, good passing range as well, kept it simple, and blocked a few crosses as well in good positions, defending the right areas. So a 7 out of 10 for Jake O'Brien, and he's certainly played his way into the thinking for Saturday's game against Bournemouth with his performance. Mykolenko next, again 7 out of 10. Similar really, that's the level Mykolenko tends to be at, 7 out of 10. And obviously he's had a tough start to the season, but again, injury problems and a disrupted pre-season for him have hampered him. But similar to Pickford, he's played his way into form hopefully through this, and as I say, a solid run out for him, and good to get an assist as well towards the end of the game for Beto's goal for the third. So a 7 out of 10 for Mykolenko. Next up, man of the match. I don't think I'm alone. I think you'll know who I'm on about now. Tim Irobinam. I thought he was fantastic. 8.5 for me. Superb from start to finish. I saw a stat before actually that he won the most duels of any player in a League Cup game since they started recording the stats in 2019. And I wasn't surprised to hear it. He was fantastic from start to finish. Keeps it simple, breaks up play, but he's so destructive in winning the ball back, and he wins it back quickly, and he comes away with the ball as well. It's not a half challenge. He's won the ball and we're on the attack. He's got a great engine on him, and as I say, he was fantastic from start to finish. The highlight for me with him though was, again, when I mentioned before about Seamus in the first minute, where, and again, it's just stuck with me because it was a real good sign, was their left back when he pushed Lindstrom off the pitch. Bit naughty really, wrong thing to do so early on in the game, and literally straight from the throw in, Robinham went straight for the lad and left one in on him, and that for me shows that he's got that bite that not a lot of academy footballers do. These lads who come through and in the system, they tend to lose that really, that little bit of bite, that bit of edge. And as I say, obviously he's going to get compared to Onana constantly because that was he's his replacement, but I don't think that's something we'd have seen from Onana, that little bit of nastiness that Everton fans in particular love. And as I say, it was good to see that he's got that in him as well. So an 8.5, and he's made a fantastic start to his Everton career so far. Next up is midfield partner James Garner. I'll give a 7. As I say, didn't obviously set the world alight, but just really assisted Tim in what he was doing, keeping it simple. And the thing with Garner again is, you notice straight away, I mentioned in the first 20 minutes how it looked the best that we'd been in possession. Having two players in midfield who can keep the ball with Ndiaye obviously as well. Footballers make a big difference, and it's something that has been missing for Everton for a long, long time, is that we've had midfielders who the ball breaks down with them in possession or moves end when it gets to them. With these two, it was just keeping the ball, moving at a pace, and it was good to see. And as I say, it's good to have Jimmy Garner back because obviously I've made no secret. I'm a massive, massive fan of his, and I think for me, the two of them, Garner and Robinham, I think they will be Everton's midfield pairing for the rest of the season. Obviously, rumours that we're bringing in another midfielder, which I think is needed for depth alone. But I think as long as Garner isn't forced to play right back at any point this season, those two are the two that I think would be the preferred partnership, certainly for myself anyway. And time will tell if it'll be for Sean Dyche. Moving forward, Lindstrom up first. I'll give him a 6. I thought it was a tough evening for Lindstrom, to be fair. He done very, very well for the first goal though. Where we sit again, we can see the subs warming up right by us, and Harrison was actually on his way back after an error from Lindstrom just before the goal, but he made it. Great footwork, tight movement in a 1v1 scenario, and flashes of brilliance, really nice touches at times, good work rate, but his decision making was lacking, and so was the physicality, which I'm sure again Dyche will get him up to speed with that, and hopefully he can be another good addition to us. But a decent night's work, and as I say, a real hand in the first goal, which if we don't get it, then you never know, it might get a little bit moody, things might get a bit nervy, and you don't know the game plays. So an important contribution from him, and a 6 out of 10. Next up, Ndiaye looks a real handful again. Very exciting player coming out the ground. All you could hear from us was talking about Ndiaye, how well he played, and obviously Robinham as well. But he's a real exciting player. Every time he's got the ball, you feel like something's going to happen. And I've not seen an Everton player take on a player and score a goal in about 10 years, it feels like. But even in general, there's 3, 4, 5 times where he'd use his strength, he'd try and get past them, whether he did or he didn't. He's got the ambition to go forwards. He's not looking for the safe option. He's not looking to keep it simple and slow the game down. He's looking to go ahead, push past someone and make something happen. And it's been a while since we've had a player like that, so he fully deserved his goal. And a 7.5 for me. I thought he was really exciting, and showed as well in the game that he can play off the left and play in the 10. As I say, got his goal off the left, McNeely assisting the 10. And then first half as well, some nice touches linking up, and the 10 is obviously where he's known for playing. But it's good to see he's versatile as well, which gives us another option in there. McNeil up next, 6.5. I thought he started the game really poorly. I thought his touches were off, but then once he'd moved into the 10 second half, you could see why people have been asking for him to play there. Everyone knows his quality on the ball. Sometimes his decision making isn't always great, but again, you've got to remember, just because he feels like he's been around forever, he's still a young player. But obviously had a hand in the third, with a great through ball to Mykolenko, and his work rate means that he's always going to be in Dyche's first thinking, and his contribution for Everton, I think, means he should as well. But that quality that he's got, if he can unlock that more consistently, potentially in the 10, it could pay off for him. But second half, as I say, I thought he was really impressive and turned what looked like was going to be a poor performance into a decent one. So a 6.5 for me. Beto next. I'm funny over Beto. Works so hard for his teammates and for the badge as well, which is exactly what you want from an Everton player. Got his goal as well, which he took well, good touch and finish. But for me, again, I'm still not sold. He battles, he's strong, he's quick, but the footballing brain and the technical ability, it just isn't there. I don't think anyway. But again, you can't fault his effort. Fully deserved his goal. Can't take that away from him, as I say. And the good thing about him, though, I think, is if he misses a chance, it doesn't play on his mind. He's straight on to the next one. There was obviously, he missed a header second half at 1-0. He missed 2 or 3, I think, 2 in the first half. One where it flashed across, nearly got on the end of a good movement, to be fair. And then the one where there was a bit of, I think there was the keeper come out for one. He had a couple of chances, if I remember. But it doesn't bog him down. He goes straight again, tries to get on the end of it, and again, that's real quality to having a striker. So it's good that he's got that. Let's hope that he can improve on his technical ability and that decision making as well, because it's a frustrating watch at times from my seat anyway. Subs, Ashley Young, I'll give him a 6. Unfortunately for Ashley Young, I thought his performance was clouded by him getting booed on when he come on, which for me, there's no excuses. He's wearing an Everton shirt. I can't get my head around why you boo him. Voice your opinion, that's fine. We all know that he probably shouldn't be starting for Everton at the minute. But if he does, it doesn't mean that you just boo him. You just get behind him. Just get behind your Everton players and support them. And as I say, 6 out of 10 because he didn't really do much wrong. But it was a bit of a dampener, really, I thought, anyway, that unfortunately a minority were booing when he come on. So hopefully that can end, and that sort of toxicity, I think, is that how you say it? I don't know. Can end anyway, because they are doing the best. They don't deserve that kind of treatment. So hopefully that ends. But a 6 for Young, and my rant over. Garner, 6.5, solid, kept the ball well, moved it quick, decent performance. Jack Harrison, 6, ballooned one over, thought he should have done better, but really tricky, works hard. As I say, you know what you're getting from Harrison. So a 6 out of 10. Dixon, 6.5, thought he played well, looked like a play when he come on. Really quick. I was fortunate enough to not watch the game at the weekend, but I heard good things about him, and again today I thought he put in a decent. Yesterday, he put in a decent shift. So a 6.5, looks a real exciting player, to be fair, and it'll be interesting to see if he goes on loan or is part of the plans. And then Harrison Armstrong, only on for 5 minutes, so a 6 out of 10. But again, you can see he's a footballer, good on the ball, keeps things simple, and breaks up play well as well. So a 6 for him. So on to Bournemouth now. Obviously, big game already. 3 games into the season, that could only happen to Everton. But hopefully we can take the positives from Doncaster and not the negatives from Brighton and Spurs into this game and get a good result. New signings have definitely played the way into thinking. I'd be shocked if Ndiaye and O'Brien, certainly one of them, if not both, for me they should be starting. So hopefully that's the case, and we can get a good result and get a bit of positivity back inside Goodison Park in this last season. Thanks for watching anyway. A lot easier to make this one than it was against Brighton. But as I say, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy it. Let us know your thoughts as well. And up the toffees.